Hello, first tonight, legal powers are being used against one of our hospitals to force an improvement in maternity services.
An external action squad will be brought into Milton Keynes Hospital after the health watchdog Monitor said it wasn't improving fast enough. This all dates back to 2007 when Romy Feast died less than an hour after being born. A coroner said doctors failed to notice she was in danger. 12 recommendations were made in December 2008, but in May 2009, Ebony McCall died soon after being born. The inquest heard systematic failures and overstretched staff contributed to her death. A month ago, the Care Quality Commission said the hospital still hadn't made enough progress. Now Monitor, the independent health regulator for NHS Foundation Trusts, has stepped in, using its powers to force the hospital to bring in external advisers.
Preparing for a new arrival can be an anxious time, but expectant mum Vanessa Bourn is more worried than most. Her first baby, Isabella, was stillborn, and her local maternity unit at Milton Keynes General appears to be in turmoil. She's due to give birth there in 4 weeks.
I know Milton Keynes, so I'd like to stay somewhere where I know. The hospital keeps saying it's safe for women to have their babies there, but I'm not so sure. I've heard lots of stories, so I'm very apprehensive. We've thought of actually going private, that possibly we'd get better care if we did pay privately to have this baby delivered.
It was the death of Romy Feast that first raised concerns. Her parents discovered a heart condition had been misinterpreted, and the hospital was told to make changes, particularly to hire more staff. But then Amanda McCall lost her daughter Ebony, again because there weren't enough midwives. The regulator Monitor says it is safe for the maternity unit here to stay open. But 14 months after the hospital was told to recruit more midwives and a consultant midwife, it has still failed to do so. And that's why the regulator is bringing in a team of external clinical advisors to speed up improvements. This evening, Ebony McCall's grandfather gave me his reaction.
The management at the hospital have refused to accept that there's any problem within the department. There have been several meetings, several press releases to say that everything is fine and that there is a safe and well-run unit. I think today's movement shows that the regulator doesn't agree that that's right and that more needs to be done to make the department as safe as it should be.
Vanessa Bourn has already packed her overnight bag, but her excitement is mixed with anxiety. Joel Matt, BBC Look East, Milton Keynes.
Well, earlier I spoke to Anita Reid, the Director of Operations at Milton Keynes Hospital. Wasn't it humiliating, I asked her, to be forced by the regulator to accept outside help?
I think actually both the regulators, the Care Quality Commission and Monitor, have acknowledged all the actions that we have put in place, and we do have a very full and comprehensive improvement plan in place. But there's more to do, and we know that, we acknowledge that, and that's why we absolutely welcome the expert support that we're going to get.
You're right that they do acknowledge some of the things that you've done, but they make it very clear that they think not enough has been done in the time scale that you've been given. And they single out leadership. They say they've failed to demonstrate that the hospital is able to provide the leadership required.
We do have very robust leadership in this organisation, and we do have comprehensive plans to take the actions that we need.
If the leadership is so robust, why are you continuing to have these problems, and why have you got to have external clinical advisors coming in to help you?
The leadership is robust, absolutely robust. We're absolutely committed to delivering the very best services. Our regulators have stated that our services are safe. We want to be even safer. We want to assure the women, our local women, that hospital is here for them, that we want to provide the very best services for them, and that's why we completely welcome the support to come in and help us to take improvements further faster.
Where does the buck actually stop? Because you say you've got robust leadership. A month ago, the chief executive told us the leadership was very strong, but obviously the regulator doesn't believe that.
I think the regulator has acknowledged all the actions that we've put in place, and I think they're very clear about that. We do need to do more. We know we need to do more, and that's what we will be doing. I think the most important thing for me is that what I don't want is mothers worrying about our services. I want to assure local women that if they've got any concerns at all, talk to your community midwife, talk to us, contact us, come and meet with us, come and look around the department, come and explain what your anxieties are, and let us talk to you and put those, give you some assurance.
One of the issues that has been highlighted by the regulator is that you haven't been able so far to recruit a sufficient number of additional midwives. Do you think the problem is that there is a shortage of midwives nationally and that people don't want to come and work for a failing unit?
You're right. It is a challenge nationally to recruit midwives, and we do have a particular challenge here because of the increasing birth rate, which means that we need even more midwives. I agree with you that actually the reputation of the unit is important, but I think what's really important is we are recruiting midwives. We've been recruiting midwives all year, and in fact we've got a further 9 midwives joining us in the next few weeks. And I think with further midwives, a consultant midwife, further consultants, and actually a really vibrant city, I think this should be a very exciting place for midwives to come, and we'd welcome them to contact us.
Anita Reid, thank you very much. If you or someone you know has had an experience at the maternity unit at Milton Keynes Hospital, good or bad, we'd love to hear from you. You can call us on 08457 630 630.
350 jobs in manufacturing are being lost in Cambridgeshire. The car parts company Tallent is closing its base at Bourn airfield near Cambridge. Talks are going on with the union to save as many jobs as possible.
It's been a tough time for the car industry. Sales of vehicles have fallen in the worldwide recession. Here at ThyssenKrupp at Bourn, they make vehicle components. 350 staff work here. But now they've been told the factory will close in September and the work will go to other UK plants.
We're basically being sacrificed for our work to go into other plants in the UK. We have a highly efficient workforce, very productive, and we're profitable. And they are taking our work to other factories. It's not fair.
Today, a senior union official from Brussels flew in to lend support. He's worried that job losses here could spell further cuts at factories in Europe.
You know, we have a lot of problems in General Motors, and what we now need is stability and a sound performance, and this plant is able to deliver that. It's already enough orders to keep the plant profitable. So I think this decision to close the plant is taken in a very hasty manner, and the management should rethink it.
The company said today that this had been a difficult decision. Despite recent improvements in volume in the automotive industry, it said, we are still faced with significant overcapacity across our 6 UK plants. And it added that the right strategic option to improve the group's long-term viability is to close the plant at Bourn. Workers left the factory this evening knowing there are only 6 months until the plant closes for good. Staff will now be offered training and will be given the opportunity to transfer to other sites. Faye Southwell, BBC Look East, Bourn.
A brother giving evidence against his own family has told a court that he was too scared